Hello ham radio friends, this is Eddie in Atlanta, Whiskey Delta 3 Delta, and one of the biggest questions that I get from people who aren't in ham radio is, what exactly can you do with ham radio? I know there's a lot of ham operators out there that may be watching this going, man, there's just so much that there's no way that you could ever cover it all. It's true, there's just so much in this hobby once you start learning about it. So I thought what I would do is, just as a foundational video for somebody that's interested in ham radio, maybe they're into CB, they haven't gotten their license yet, or they're thinking about getting their license. I wanted to take the band plan and just kind of go through the band plan, but I wanted to do it differently. I wanted to superimpose an actual radio on that band plan or beside the band plan and just show what each of those bars in the band plan correlates to on a radio. So I'm in a 500 watt mobile station, which is a RAV4. I've got an FT891 going into an Ameritron ALS 500 watt amp for HF. And then for UHF and VHF, I've got an FTM 400. I took some photos earlier. I'm using a Starlink satellite I'm going to be using it for our live broadcasts. And I've got a Scorpion screwdriver antenna going for HF. And inside the vehicle, I've got 3 cameras set up, one on me, one on the passenger. I want to start doing some shotgun videos where I've got a passenger in the vehicle with me. And then I've got a camera 3, which is actually pointing down to the radios down below. This is another side just showing the switcher, the camera switcher that I've got kind of built in. And before the people start making the comments, I don't drive like this, okay? I'm stationary, I'm not moving. All the cameras and everything up there, they all come down. All that, you know, comes out whenever we are, whenever I'm moving. So let me switch this over and we will do the band plan. The thing about the band plan is it's a lot easier than it looks. Let me switch back over to the radios here. You can kind of see what I'm using for HF and the bands for the FTM 400. So let's pull up the band plan, and as you can see, there's really 3 main parts to I mean, it looks like a whole lot, but it's really not. It's only 3 things. The first thing being, obviously, this big center section right here that's got all the band information from 2,200 meters down to 23 centimeters. And we're going to go over what all that is. That's the first thing. The second thing the band covers is, what are you going to be doing on the band? Are you going to be doing phone? Are you going to be doing CW, which is another word for Morse code? And then the last part is, what license do you hold? Are you a novice, technician, general, advanced, or extra? Now these days there's only 3. There's technician, general, and amateur extra, but there are still people out there that hold the advanced license, the novice license, so they're included on the band plan here. So as we start looking at the band, let's just look at 2 meters, for example, right here. You can see for 2 meters, it's from 144 to 148 megahertz, and extras, advanced, generals, and technicians all have access to this band. And the band is primarily 2 meters and 70 centimeters are primarily used for repeaters that are literally all over states, so you can extend the range of your talking by talking on the repeaters. And if we look at that on the radio, that would be this radio over here, the FTM 400. Now, this top bar with the this dial, the top section, and this dial, this is all 2 meters, which is what we just saw over here. So that top part of this radio that you're looking at right here correlates to this 2 meters that you have here. So, and below that, you'll see there's 70 centimeters, which actually runs from 420 megahertz to 450 megahertz. So again, if we go to the radio, you can see this lower section right here, you can see it says 442, that is 70 centimeters. So this dial, this display, and then this dial, which is the, you know, the volume and so forth, it all correlates to 70 centimeters. So in this particular instance, that one radio handles all that. Now, they make radios that combine, you know, both of these. They'll combine the high frequency and the very high frequency. The 991A from Yaesu's one. ICOM's got, I believe, a 7300. Me, I prefer having them separate. I like to be able to work, you know, the repeaters, the local FM repeaters, I work them separately than I'm working HF. You can see that this FT891 is currently on 14.158. Well, if we go back to the band plan, you can see that 14.158, if I'm a mouse, it actually correlates to 20 meters right here. So the FT891 is currently on 20 meters, and 14.158, you can see that is in the extra portion of the band. There's another portion of the band that is the advanced portion, and then the general portion is down below that. It starts at 14.225. So if I go back to the radio here and we crank this up to, you know what, I'm gonna put it on fast. We crank this up to 14.2, you know, 14.228 or 229. We are currently now in the general portion of the 20 meter band. So turn it up there. I didn't hear anything. So that pretty much explains the differences, and you can see it's going to be like that all throughout the band. One of the great things about the technician license, if you're thinking about getting your technician license, is that if you do voice, you actually have a portion set aside for you in the 10 meter band between 28,300 and 28,500 megahertz. And then you also have other areas where you can do CW on 15 meters. There's also an area on 40 meters, and even down to 80 meters you can do CW. But when you're talking about voice, the only voice available to technicians is this portion right here on 10 meters. So let me let's go back to the radios, and I'm going to just turn down HF, and then I'm going to turn up. The repeaters are kind of noisy tonight, but I thought maybe we could get somebody on. There's a repeater in Gwinnett County. Let me turn that down. So we're going to turn down 70 centimeters, which is the 440. I've got the volume all the way down on that. You can see that it's not highlighted, so we're working primarily with 2 meters here. Right now I'm just scanning local repeaters to see if we can find somebody that's online. Let me keep going here and just see if we can find somebody. I may be able to, let me see if I can call some people. KHQ is usually online. Let's see if, let's just make a transmission on 2 meters here. Here we go. Whiskey Delta 3 Delta, November 4 Kilo Hotel, Quebec. Are you there? Roger, Roger, Pete. Thank you so much for being there. I'm actually doing a video now, and we're going through 2 meters and 70 centimeters, and I'm going to move on to HF after that. So I knew if I pulled up November 4 Kilo Hotel, Quebec, I would get somebody on the line. So just so you know, you're on a YouTube video right now.
Glad there's no Facebook going on then, or not Facebook, FaceTime. Because I don't photo that well.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't photo that well either. So thanks a lot, Pete. I appreciate you coming back. We're going to move on to 70 centimeters. Who knows? I may catch you on the 70 centimeter repeater. So November 4 Kilo Hotel, Quebec. It's Whiskey Delta 3 Delta. Eddie, thanks, Pete. Clear.
Threes, and have a good evening.
Okay, let's just turn that down. So Pete is his repeater is way up on I think it's like 3,500 feet on a mountain kind of in North Georgia, and I'm probably about 25 miles northwest of Atlanta. So his repeater will reach all the way down into Atlanta, and I've even hit the repeater from south of Atlanta and then way up into Tennessee, and pretty much covers the whole north region of the state. So if there's someone in Tennessee, they could actually use Pete's repeater if they wanted to contact me here in where I am in Georgia. So let's go back to the radios here, and we're going to go ahead and engage 70 centimeters. And again, just so you can see what we're doing here, the repeater that we just talked on right here was this 2 meter repeater. Pete is 146.835 was his repeater, so it was probably right here in the middle of the band. And if you're a technician level operator, you can talk on that repeater. There's a whole group of people that you'll meet once you move into the repeaters, and you know, especially if you're mobile. I've even heard of, you know, truck drivers are now, you use a little SD card that you put the repeaters on, and you put it in the radio, and it will automatically put those repeaters. So I've talked to a few truckers that were on CB, and what they're doing is they're actually just taking the little SD cards. They're downloading all the repeaters that are going to be on their route. If they're going from, say, Charlotte to somewhere in Kansas, they'll put the repeaters on their route. So as they're working their route, they've got everything set up, and they're still on their CB. I still have my CB too, and for, you know, certain instances, there's nothing better than a CB radio. But if you're looking to move into another level and meet a whole new group of people, that's a good way to do it. So we'll move over. Let's go back to the radios, and we're going to go now into 70 centimeters, and let's see if we can find something here. Oh, there's KHQ. Let's see if we can. Pete's got a repeater on both 2 meter 70 centimeter, and I think he's got another one, but let's see if we can get him on this. Whiskey Delta 3 Delta November 4 Kilo Hotel Quebec, are you there? Okay, negative contact. Whiskey Delta 3 Delta clear. So let's do some more scanning here and see if we can get something to come up. There's a Gordon County repeater there. All right, there's APX. Let's see if we can, let's see if, Whiskey Delta 3 Delta.
Oh boy, there's Ed.
Roger, Roger, I appreciate it. I'm doing a YouTube video, so just let you know, we just finished 2 meters and we're now doing 70 centimeters, and I'm so glad I could get some people on Archie's repeater. Everybody, this is Whiskey 8 Alpha Papa X-Ray. Incredible repeater that covers all around Atlanta. Am I getting into the repeater okay?
Yes, sir.
Roger, Roger. Well, thank you so much. 448.825. That's Whiskey 8 Alpha Papa X-Ray. This is Eddie, Whiskey Delta 3 Delta. Thanks, guys. 7-3. Have a good afternoon.
All right, Eddie. This is N4NXD, November 4, November X-Ray Delta, in beautiful Cobb County, Georgia, near the stadium. Oh, let me stop because I'm recorded. And we have John over there, KWY, in an undisclosed location.
Roger, Roger, and I just want to let anybody know while the camera's rolling, if you need to know anything about repeaters, N4NXD, Eric, he can probably answer any question that that anybody's got. And by the way, Eric, if you want to see this video, if you go over to WD3D.live, that's where all the live activations, repeaters, and broadcasts are going to be. Over.
That sounds so exciting. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a repeat guru. There are people out here that know quite a bit more than I do, but in my profession, I maintain a public safety radio system with 7,000 users and 4 dispatch centers, so I have a little bit of experience on radio infrastructure, but there are men and women that know way 10, 100 times more than I do, and every day is an adventure in learning. N4NXD. I'll pass it over to John.
Okay. Here goes John.
Kilo Whiskey 4, Mike Yankee.
Let's see if Eric will come back.
You are in there like swimwear, John. So, Malcolm is telling me you got a new ride, or a new, I would say ride, a new truck.
There we go. There we go. We are cleared. So that's just an idea. So you've got 2 separate repeater systems, 2 channels on this radio all by itself. And again, what we just did was 2 meters for the top row and 70 centimeters for the bottom row on that radio. So the next thing, once you leave VHF and UHF, you come into HF, and that starts around this area right here, 6 meters to 2,200 meters. Right now, I think I'm set on 20 meters, so we can see if we can maybe try to find somebody to talk to on 20 meters. Russia's been good coming in. Poland, was good the past couple of nights. And there's also many other things that you can do, like parks on the air and other various things to find people that may be online, so, or on the air, I should say. So let's see if we can find somebody on 20 meters here. I'm going to take it off fast and we're going to go slow. We can go ahead and let the 20 and 40 scanning again. All right, here we go.
You take care. We'll see you very soon. Enjoy the weekend. WD0 Alpha Zulu Whiskey. Don't forget, Memorial Day is coming right up here, so have a good holiday as well in a week or so. Tim, take care from N1RPH 73.
We may be able to get in touch with this station. Whiskey Delta 3 Delta. Whiskey Delta 3 Delta.
Yeah, you bet, Tim. You know, just I heard on the telly today. I think it might have been yesterday. Where I think it was over 60% of the young moose.
I think he's in with somebody, so we will keep going.
My Microsoft computer just came on.
Band's sounding kind of dead. Let's go back to 150 and see if there's anything in the extra portion of the band.
Okay, 500 watts.
There we go.
Roger. That's doing a wonderful job, my friend.
Whiskey Delta 3 Delta test. Whiskey Delta 3 Delta test. All right, let's go back to 160.
Kilo Delta 9, radio Kilo Germany.
Whiskey Delta 3 Delta mobile.
Okay, the Whiskey Delta 3 mobile. Go ahead again.
Roger. This is Whiskey Delta 3 Delta mobile in Atlanta. Eddie into an FT891 Meritron 500 watt amp and Scorpion screwdriver antenna. QSL.
Okay, I got it. You are 10/9, but I need your call sign again. Go ahead again.
Roger. My call sign is Whiskey Delta 3 Delta. That's WD3D. QSL.
Okay, I got it. WD3D. I think we have called before. We have contact before, I think. I think so, but I don't remember. You are Eddie, Georgia. Roger?
Roger, Roger. And what is your call sign, please?
Okay, my call sign is Hotel Italia 8 Foxtrot Charlie Radio. Hotel Italia 8 Foxtrot Charlie Radio. We have a contact at Febrero. Roger?
Roger, Roger. I've got Hotel India 8 Foxtrot Charlie Romeo QSL.
Okay, you are running mobile 500 watts, Roger?
Roger, Roger. That is correct.
Okay, I want to prepare my mobile with a Icon 7100. I'm trying to find a 500 watt amplifier to put on, Roger?
Roger, the Ameritron ALS 500 is working great.
Okay, it's a real 500 watt, Roger?
Roger, Roger. That is correct, but it will vary based on the voltage to the amp. So when the battery voltage drops, it's about 85 watts per 1 volt.
Okay, with 85 watts, I have 500 out.
Correct. You'll probably get some. Right now I'm getting about 387 with a 1.07 SWR.
Okay, thank you. Good signal. You still 10 over 9. 10 over 9, you still. This is your second contact. Thank you. 73.
Roger, Roger. And I just want to be sure this is Franco.
That's positive. Franco. Foxtrot Romeo Alpha November Charlie Oscar. Hotel Italia 8 Foxtrot Charlie Radio. Roger?
Roger, Roger. 73 Hotel India 8 Foxtrot Charlie Radio. This is Whiskey Delta 3 Delta. Eddie in Atlanta. 73.
73.
Okay. All right, so that was Franco, and he's in the Dominican Republic on 20 meters, 14.160. And if we go back, let me put the band chart back on so you can see it. That's he was right here, this part of the extra portion. And you can see as you keep going up across the band, there's 30 meters. There's no voice on 30 meters. And each band basically has its own stipulation for using it. 60 meters is channelized, used on a secondary basis, and here you can use CW. So as you look at each one of these bands, you can see the various things that you can do. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to go over the band chart for people who aren't familiar. And you know, people started it off talking about, people ask about what you can do on ham radio, and what I just showed you did not even scratch the surface. I mean, it just once you start getting into the digital modes and CW and all the other things, and you know, parks on the air, ships on the air, museums on the air, NASA, there's just so much, the grids. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. And once you get into it and start learning a little bit more about it and get your various license levels, you'll start to see so many more things that you can do. So I'd also highly recommend, if you're interested in ham radio, is get with a local club. I'm a member of 3 of the clubs, Silver Comet, Alfred Memorial, and the Atlanta Radio Club. And you know, for less than $100 a year, you can join 3 or 4 clubs, and it's just a good way just to contribute to ham radio, and you'll meet a lot of great people. That's one of the things that I've found about ham, is that it's just a hobby of goodwill. Everybody's just wanting to make contacts with other people, wanting to help other people. A lot of them, like me, came from CB radio. I love CB radio, and I just wanted to learn more about what was going on in radio and different ways to communicate and to be prepared and so forth. So if you have any questions, go to WD3D.live. That's our website, and there's a contact us button on there. Contact me. If you're interested in testing, I'm a volunteer examiner. If you're in the Atlanta area and want to take your technician test, contact me through the website. If you want to upgrade to general or extra, we've got a team that gives a test at one of the local churches here in Marietta, and we'd love to have you out to take the exam. So this is Whiskey Delta 3 Delta, Eddie in Atlanta. Thanks for watching. I've got other stuff coming. I'm going to do another video on the RST signal reports. Let me see if I can put this on the camera. There you go. The RST system. And then another video on the phonetic alphabet. So to me, those are really the three main things in radio that are really a foundation for doing stuff on the radio. Knowing the band chart is one. Knowing the RST system, here it is, let's put it up here. Let's see, that's media player 2, there we go. That's the RST system. We'll be going over that in another video. You know, you commonly hear 5x9. Well, that you can see on there where they get the 5x9. And the last thing, or the third video that I'm going to do a video on, is the phonetic alphabet, which you really need to know that, and we'll do some examples on there. So band chart, RST system for signal reports, and the phonetic alphabet. If you've got those three down and you know them and you're familiar with them, and you know, good thing about it is, you can print them out. I got them laminated, printed out. I got them in the car here. I got them in the house. You know, you always have the band chart with you. You can look right on it whenever you want to and make sure that, you know, you're in the right area and doing the right thing. So anyway, thanks, ham friends. This is Eddie, Whiskey Delta 3 Delta. Thanks for watching, and have a great afternoon. 73.